ओम सहनावतु सहनौ भुनक्तु अवीर्यं करवावहै तेजस्विनावधीतमस्तु मा विद्विषावहै। ओम शांति शांति शांतिः। ब्रह्मानन्दं परमसुखदं केवलं ज्ञानमूर्तिं द्वन्द्वातीतं गगनसदृशं तत्त्वमस्यादिलक्ष्यम् एकं नित्यं विमलमचलं सर्वधी साक्षिभूतं भावातीतं त्रिगुणरहितं सद्गुरुं तन्नमामि सद्गुरुं तन्नमामि। हे प्रभु दाता ज्ञान हमको दीजिए शीघ्र सारे को दूर हमसे कीजिए दीजिए हमको शरण में हम सदाचारी बने ब्रह्म चिंतक धर्म रक्षक वीर व्रत धारी बने। हे प्रभु आनंद दाता ज्ञान हमको दीजिए निंदा किसी की हम किसी से भूल कर भी ना करे सत्य बोले झूठ जाके मेल आपस में करे। हे प्रभु आनंद दाता ज्ञान हमको दीजिए प्रेम से हम गुरुजनों की नित्य ही सेवा करें दिव्य जीवन हो हमारा तेरे यश गाया करे। हे प्रभु आनंद दाता ज्ञान हमको दीजिए शीघ्र सारे बंधनों को दूर हमसे कीजिए दूर हमसे कीजिए। दया करो हे माँ काली मैया दया करो मोरे माँ काली मैया दया करो मोरे माँ दुखियन के दुख दूर करो दुखियन के दुख दूर करो दया करो मोरे माँ काली मैया दया करो मोरे माँ देवी देवता करे प्रशंसा देवी देवता करे प्रशंसा सुर नर मुनि गण दास तुम्हारे सुर नर मुनि गण दास तुम्हारे दास तुम्हारो जानत कछुना दास तुम्हारो जानत कछुना भव सागर से पार करो भव सागर से पार करो दया करो हे माँ काली मैया दया करो हे माँ काली मैया दया करो दया करो दया करो हे माँ काली धन्यवाद महाराज। I was thinking because the people are less, I will take something else. हाँ बोलो रमाकांत क्या रे?
नहीं बाय मिस्टेक हुआ सॉरी.
अच्छा अच्छा. We have got two options. One is to continue, or else I have रामतीर्थ का एक मैंने कल परसों मैंने ये पढ़ा क्या फेथ के ऊपर चैप्टर था. बट देन यू नो आई हैव टू रीड इट एंड देन चलेगा क्या हो? गलत नहीं. तो लोग एक मिनट लेके आता हूँ एक सेकंड ना.
Yes, sir. Option 2.
ऑप्शन टू लाए.
क्या है रवि? विजो विजो नहीं है. ओह, ओके ओके.
ये बुक है. ये देखो कैमरे पे दिखता है कि नहीं दिख रहा है नहीं दिख रहा है. हाँ ये वुड्स ऑफ गॉड रिलेशन करके स्वामी राम तीर्थ का है. 7 वॉल्यूम है उसको. 7 वॉल्यूम एक फेथ के ऊपर बहुत बड़े वेरी नाइस चैप्टर ऑन फेथ. कितना पेजेस आई डोंट नो. उपासना आई टोल्ड यू गौरव टू रीड फेथ. About 8 pages. Let me see. Let me देखो. I will only read and then we'll see. Okay. Faith. This lecture was delivered by Swami Ram Tirtha at Faizabad in September 1905. Before beginning his lecture, Swamiji emphasized the need for all of us to meditate and concentrate on the idea that there is only one soul which pervades and interprets that we are all the waves of the same ocean and that we are attached to the same universal thread like pearls in a necklace. जब जब समझेगा नहीं तो मेरे को बोला मैं विल स्टॉप. अगर सुनने नहीं आया तो ये तो क्लियर है ना. देयर वाज साइलेंस फॉर सम टाइम and the audience got absorbed in this very idea. Thereafter, Swamiji began his speech with a melodious utterance of Om. Hmm. Some plants do not flower after the month of June, but they develop such beauty in their leaves that even the flowers have no match to them. Both in fragrance and color, the leaves are as beautiful and attractive as the flowers themselves. In fact, tenacity and strength makes them better than flowers which are usually tender or weak. This happens because of brahmacharya or observations of celibacy. Flowers also marry, but the plants which do not flower remain single and celibate. When such is the case with the plants, doesn't it apply to human beings also? Surely it does. We should concentrate our whole attention on the truth and God in such a way that temptations of this world lose their lure and lose their attraction. Or for us, Rama calls this at the stage of practice conviction of faith or Islam. The story goes that certain uncivilized people shivered all over the cold with cold at night. If somebody gave them a blanket, they would use to cover themselves, but in the morning, anyone could take the blanket away from them in lieu of little sugar. The practice was repeated day after day. Blankets were donated at night and exchanged in the next morning for sugar. Now, during the day, in the presence of sugar, they could not recollect the cold which was not there then, at right then. Such people as these neither call themselves uncivilized nor do they recognize things which are out of their sight at the moment. In other words, they fail to perceive a thing which is not materially present before their eyes. They, therefore, neither believe in God nor do they recognize His higher spiritual laws because they cannot see themselves with their physical eyes. Are they not more or less similar to the uncivilized people stated above who do not recognize cold and shivering when it is no more upon them? Once there was a fight between the gods and the demons. The gods were less in strength than the demons. Brihaspati, the lord of gods, preached to the demons The philosophy of Charvak, the principle in which eat, drink, be merry, and not to care for anything is metaphysical. As the story goes on, the gods won. Why? Because the gods had faith in the good cause and in God. The nation which has no faith in God, truth or goodness cannot be never cannot sorry can never be victorious. One gentleman today complained to Rama that faith has ruined India. That says gentleman perhaps does not know that meaning of faith. Rama will speak on faith today. He referred yesterday. Oh, ठीक है. Oh. It is better for him to die who lives for himself alone. One who dies for the good of humanity becomes immortal. In the desert of Arabia, in the heart of an illiterate orphan, the fire of faith or Islam was kindled. This faith took roots in his heart, with the result of that fire which had kindled with him spread into the desert and converted every particle of sand into the inflammable explosive. The entire world from Granada to Delhi and from one end to the other end of Europe, Africa and Asia were shaken. This cheer caused not by the power of the sword or gun, as it is generally spread about Islam, but by the intensity of faith and the force of conviction. है ना? You see how much faith those Muslims have. Every Friday they will go for their prayers. 5 times they will pray. कितना भी रहेंगे right from their 2 years old child to their 92 year old grandpa. उनका सबका है ना कंपल्सरी. तो उन्होंने बताया. रामा sorry. Once when Rama was appearing for his final exams of BA, the examiners in mathematics set 13 questions and wrote, solve any 9 of these 13. Since Rama's, he always referred to himself as Rama. I am नहीं बोलते थे. Since Rama's heart was full of conviction, he solved all the 13 sums and then he wrote, examine any 9 of these 13. It may be mentioned that yeah, other candidates could hardly solve 3 or 4 questions in that paper. James also subscribes to the same viewpoint. Only one who has faith in him is victorious. This is a spiritual law. While considering faith, one should keep in view faith and the creed. It is derogatory to call anybody faithless, but it is also a fact that India needs faith and conviction. Faith, I mean, this is important. Faith means believe in something invisible. This is religion. This is conviction or Islam without which nobody can progress. Archimedes used to say, give me a point to stand by and I will move the earth. Rama says that this constant point is within you. If only you know your real self, there is nothing that which you cannot know. Once you fill your heart with this conviction, you can do whatever you like because the source of unlimited energy is within you. Huxley, Huxley philosopher tha, he says, if your power of reasoning and wisdom do not help you in comprehending facts, change the logic and detest such wisdom. But you cannot change the facts. Have faith in the Atma, that is the inner strength. Tateri is a small but developed phase of conviction within herself. She gathered courage, opposed the ocean, and ultimately was victorious. There is a story that the ocean swept away the eggs of the Tateri. She argued that the ocean would sweep away the eggs of the other birds also. It was therefore worthwhile to teach the ocean a lesson. With this determination, the birds started taking water in their beaks and throwing it out of the ocean. They did not allow themselves to be dejected. In the meanwhile, a rishi reached there and seeing their absurdity, remarked, you cannot empty the ocean in this way. Stop this nonsense. The Tatiyas replied, respected sir, we wonder how you, a Rishi, can preach atheism. You see only our bodies and fail to realize our inner strength and firm determination. The same reply was given by Dattatreya to one Rishi. He said, my friend, after all, you are a crow, Kakabhushandi. Not a Rishi, Kakabhushandi. My friend, after that, you are only a crow because your sight does not penetrate the skin of the body to see the Atma. Feel and realize that you are not this body and that you cannot be correctly estimated by the holy Vedas, real self in the one which is eternal and everlasting. On hearing the above reply of the Tateris, the Rishi realized his mistake and asked the ocean in anger, what has swept away the ego eggs of these birds? The ocean thereupon returned the eggs and said, sir, it was only a joke. In the above story, the belief in the immortal self is faith, religion. The rest is a story of creed. Rama aims only at the inspiration of faith and nothing has nothing to do with the rest. Farhad has to cut the mountains in order to bring the canal upon the palace of the king. These are facts. You can see the pictures of Farhad sketched on stones while canalizing through the mountains. Only a man of faith and none else can accomplish it. If a man believes that the real self is within him, there is no problem which he cannot solve. And Gurudev also had written to me this when I wrote a letter to him. Uh, he said the same thing. If you have got belief in your own self and you meditate deeply, there is no problem which you cannot solve. Similar is given in. No power of the earth can oppose it. Sun and moon will also obey him. Ramchandra is all alone. He has only a brother with him to get back Sita from across the ocean. Was it an easy job? There were no boats or ships, but he was a man of extraordinary courage and firm determination. As such, even the wild animals were ready to help him. Even the naughty animals like monkeys were ready to assist him. The birds also offered them their help in this cause, Jatayu. The squirrels helped in the construction of the bridge across the ocean by bringing sand in their little mouth. They were all serving the Maryada Purushottam Bhagwan Sri Ramchandra. If a man develops the same indomitable courage and determination as Rama had, the whole universe will be his. If, however, you are not prepared to believe that I am he, you can surely believe that he is within me. If he is within you, you are the lord of everything. You can do anything you like. The very thought should be entertained and hammered at all time so that the inner strength begins to manifest itself. Hmm. In England and America, arrangements have been made by government in some hospitals to cure the patients only with willpower. A number of patients also have taken the pledge not to take any medicine throughout their life. Even if they contract any disease, they cure it with their own will force. Such is the strength of their determination. The modern psychology has proved that you can be made to see a mayor in the place of a table. Have you not heard the saying that James becomes Paul? Whatever you is seen with the eyes of conviction is the fact for you. If you want to see the real Atma, see the real self or Atma. Look at the pencil factories where thousands of men are engaged and through which countries' wealth is increasing. Both railways and postal departments are also indirectly benefited. What is the true starting point of this factory? It takes its origins from a small chemical reaction which is not visible. Inner equation itself is a spiritual revelation. You cannot probe into the secrets of the success of Japan and America by merely observing their visible wealth and prosperity. The cause of the rise of those countries is the inner change, which is nothing but the force of conviction and faith. The ultimate real cause of progress of all nations and countries lies in their underlying spirit and not in their visible forms, which are only the outer covers. You may believe in 33 crores or even 33 million crores of gods, but you will not be benefited unless your spirit is awakened. When your inner self wakes up, you will find that all gods are present to serve you with folded hands. You worship to them, you worship them now, but then they will worship you. Kabhi, when your inner self wakes up and you that time and you awaken your inner self, he says. This belief is conviction and faith in God. One who has faith within him will not care for the external things. House is no house, but if it does not have a roof. Boat is no boat without oars. Similarly, there should be faith to make a real heart. A man ceases to love if he has no faith in the God or truth. At the same time, trials and tribulations, some sacrifices required. The Hindus, Muslims, Jews, Christians all have this custom of sacrifice. You kill a poor animal or throw stones at some oblation to the fire and call it sacrifice. But this is no sacrifice. Real sacrifice implies that hand should remain engaged in work while tongue is repeating his name or virtues with a feeling full and a faithful heart. Oh dear ones, the sacrifice means that we should be truly his. In the face of this truth, the world pleasures and selfish desires have no significance. Hmm. You may do your work selflessly in the name of God. Mind you, there should be no selfishness, sorry. Mind you, there should be no selfishness whatsoever. If you sacrifice yourself to God, nothing remains except your own self. They say we cannot work under circumstances. There is a mention of a lamp in hydrostatics. A portion of the bottom of the lamp is filled with oil, and the remaining portion is a solid one. As the oil burns in the lamp, the solid portion gradually comes down, meaning thereby the specific gravity of the solid becomes equal to that of the oil. In this example, take the oil for your worldly duties and the solid body for faith or belief. They say we have no time. According to Johnson, time is sufficient if well employed. Do you think that it is in your hands or feet which work? Do you think that it is your hands or feet which work? No, it is your inner force of will, faith, or belief which causes motion and is responsible for all the activities if of every fiber of your nerve and muscles. Oh, dear friends, you want to limit your real self, which is beyond time and space. In fact, this is real atheism. Huxley is not an atheist, as you might have thought. He says, I recognize only such God as was acknowledged by Spinoza. We cannot live even for a moment without having faith in the real and inner God. God is within you. He is omnipresent, omniscient, and omnipotent. Had Prahlada thought that God is sits somewhere else in the heaven, he would have never have uttered these words. God is within me. God is within you. God is in the sword and in the pillar. Wherever you see, there is nothing but God and God alone. It is this absolute faith in Prahlada which made him so bold, so to face the severest ordeal willingly, fearlessly, and successfully. Rama wants to perform your duties with your hands while remembering him in your heart of hearts. Such men, when visiting the temples of Lord Krishna, cannot help offering lustrous pearls of their tears to the heart-robbing idol. If they stand in the mosque, they wash their hands of this world and bow them to the complete surrender to him. If they happen to visit a church, they crucify their crude selfishness at the altar of the Holy Spirit. Om, Om, Om. Hmm? I thought this is good. Basically, see what is there in short that we till now we have said we have should have faith, but faith we are always go having it on some external object. Like I have faith in the God. Here it says have faith in yourselves first. स्वतःवर faith when we अच्छा स्वतःवर म्हणजे कशावर have faith in yourself means faith in your spirit, consciousness, bliss, God, Krishna, Rama, and that Rama and Krishna is not somewhere uh, outside you, but they stand here, they are seated firmly rooted in our heart only, and that once you come to realize, then everything will be simple. Hmm? See, if you think the miracles of the world, so-called miracles, the poetries, or the sports, or whatever you see, at that particular moment, when that individual loses his consciousness and becomes one with that infinite source or Lord, and that time whatever happens through him becomes a masterpiece. है ना? Like a a beautiful song or a beautiful poet or the athlete breaking the world record. That particular moment, they have lost their uh, what you say I-ness,
Individual. Individual.
individuality. And that time when they become one with that infinite source, the energy with which they have got becomes infinite. And therefore, even what we learn, I mean, we should learn from this is always have faith in our own self. बाद में if you don't have faith in yourself, how many people there may be there? How many gods there may be there? 33,000 is 33 lakhs, 33 crores. कुछ फायदा नहीं. Why? Because I don't have faith in my own self first. I should have belief in my own self. And second important point is he said that our willpower should be so strong that I should be able to say that nothing will come close to me. है ना? They always say that the uh, illness or disease enters the mind first and then is the body. And I've discussed last time also cancer or all those dreadful diseases are there because there is a some sort of problem in your mental what is that framework. माइंड का प्रॉब्लम जब होता है तब बॉडी पे इट इफेक्ट्स डायरेक्टली एंड देयरफॉर आई शुड बी ऑलवेज गुरुदेव सेज द always be alert and vigilant, and that time I should have that filter. I should know what to take inside in the mind and I should know what to throw it out. कुछ भी अंदर रहने का मतलब नहीं है. There are so many thoughts. See, we are in this world and so many people you come across. Some speak good, some speak ill, some speak some negativity, and those things indirectly affect us. I should have such a filter that I should never let negative thoughts of any kind enter my own self. Okay, and now the same thing we are going and doing in the which is we are taking the 77th through sutra, na? 78
77 is complete.
complete, na? Kshanambapi, Kshanarnapi Magarthana Niyam. Ah, in that only one last time I forgot to tell you in it. What you said that in the, don't let even one moment be wasted in your life. है ना? So in Guru is only one of the books he has written that we sleep for how many hours? 6, 7, 8, whatever the hours are. If when you go to sleep, if you can go on chanting the Lord's name without any efforts, it's in your subconscious mind for 7, 8 hours. That name will go on be repeating in your name in your mind. That name will go and be going on repeating in your mind. And you get him in the morning. The first thought will be the thought of the Lord. And without doing any effort, that you are able to do your japa unconsciously in your subconscious mind. है ना? तो whatever is your Ishta Devata or your mantra, when you go to sleep, try to chant it when you go to sleep and fall off and slip into sleep. If you try that, then it happens, he says. And therefore, he says, never to even spend even a moment fruitlessly. How many, see, last time also discussed, our life is day by day decreasing. You agree, don't agree, you like it, you don't like it. But in that limited period or time preference, how much effort I'm taking to, reach the goal for which I have been born. That I should think and reflect on it. किती देतो देवाला वेळ मी? I'm what I was last week. Am I at least one step ahead of what I was last week? If my heart is it getting purer or it is getting more mucky or more, muddy, soiled? Once you go on doing it slowly, and this is not a overnight job. Remember, slowly, things will happen. And what is the test to see whether we are on the right path? That when adverse situations comes, if your balance of mind remains proper and mentally, you are in a state of balance, then equipoise, this case we will call it. If you are in a state of equipoise, then you come to know that "Arey, acha, you are going in the right path." Then in that moment you get angry, you lose your temper, you become restless, you become scared. So yes, when negativities enter, you think you should know that you are not on the right path. This is one thing. हाँ ना अभी ये लेंगे 70th लेने का पढ़ो कोई भी रमाकांत पढ़ो
Uh,
78
uh,
अहिंसा सत्य शौच
Ahimsa,
दया अस्तिक्य आदि चारित्र्याणि परिपालयानि
I-
परिपालनीयानि.
Ahimsa, Satya, Saucha, दयास्तिक्यादि चरित्राणि परिपालयानि फलनीयानि.
पालनीयानि.
Virtues like non-injury to others, truthfulness, cleanliness, compassion, faith in the Lord, and so on should be consistently cultivated. Without right thinking, which are a right conduct, acharam, without right thinking, that is vichara, right conduct is impossible. Virtues of conduct can be cultivated if intellectual enquiry has first prepared the sadhaka's mind. Character, achara of an individual can be changed and beautified only through right thinking, vichara. But conversely, when right moral and ethical actions, achara, are not there, thinking, vichara, will not have that high fidelity, single pointedness, or subtlety of vision.
Hmm. What did you understand this? Tiger? कुछ डिफिकल्ट नहीं है. खाली आचार आचार and विचार विचार ज्यादा बड़ा है. Nothing is difficult in this. Tell me. हाँ. Right thinking cannot be there. Uh, As you think, so you become. Your thoughts, remember one thing always. Yeah, always be at the back of them. Our thoughts have tremendous power, because it has got a force of 1 billion miles per second. It's a power. But when what will happen is that we misdirect those thoughts in what in our at the petty kama, krodha, lobha, moha, mada, matsara, shadvika, and we lose that strength. In the inner strength is lost when that thought process or those thoughts are focused on the Lord or the infinite. We get tremendous energy and inspiration. Therefore, Gurudev, like people like Gurudev could work 23, 20, I mean, sorry, not 23, 20 hours a day, only 3 hours, 4 hours of sleep, and travel throughout the world. See, it is so difficult, even to go to Bombay and come back. They have to plan out so much, and he was roaming all over the world, not staying more than 6 or 7 days in a place throughout his life. Even our Guruji for that matter, Swami Purushan, all those saints matter. How difficult it is. Think you can only get that such uh, uh, actions through you when the source of inspiration in you is absolutely strong. Secondly, and your thought process is clearly laid out. You know what to do. How many of us know what to do in our life? Tell me. किती लोकांना माहिती आहे काय करायचंय? We have a vague idea, but have you ever thought what are we going to become? We had a workshop when I was in not in Baliwar, in Yoga Kendra, that they told us to write on a piece of paper, like what is your goal after 2 months, then 3 months, then a year, then 5 years, then 10 years, and then 30 years or 25 years, 25 years. And we wrote all sorts of things. I have to become a graduate. I will search for a job, then marry, I quickly some. But one Parsi girl was there. I forgot her name. She wrote that I have to become a photographer, and I will try to strive to become better photographer in 3 months. And last question was, what would your goal be if you know that you are going to die after 3 days? That was the last question. 20-25 years, the last question. And she said, I'll go to the best photographer in the world and learn the photography, and then I will master that art. And then the last question which this answered was, within this 3 days, if I know that I'm going to die after 3 days, in those 3 days, I will see that click a masterpiece of my life. And that person was a Chinese maybe accent, that he said this is the right thinking, because all her goals or her objectives are focused on one thing, right? Photography only is the thing. अपना तो सब वेरिड है, इधर जाओ उधर आओ, ढूंढो ढूंढो कुछ भी रहता है. If that much one pointed focus is there on our goal, we'll surely attain it. आपलं तसं पाहिजे. Our determination should be that much firm and strong. की हा ठीक आहे, माझा संसार होतोय तर करू दे, संसार तर होतोय, त्याला काय करायला काय लागत नाही, होते संसार. पण कुठेतरी at the back of the mind I should know that one day before I leave this body, I should be able to realize my true self. कधीतरी एकदा आत्ता करायचं, आत्ता करा. इट इज नॉट दॅट डिफिकल्ट. काही अवघड नाहीये काही. फक्त आपलेच विचार आपल्याला बंधनात टाकतात. थिंक देर इज नो वन हु इज पुलिंग यू डाऊन. इट इज माय ओन थॉट्स विच आर पुलिंग मी डाऊन. Thoughts which are borrowed, thoughts which are there originally, thoughts which I've accumulated over the years, thoughts which give me a tingling sensation, and they come and trouble me always. And if I can master those thoughts, and easiest way to master the thoughts is to breathe in the present. Easiest way. काही करू नका. Don't go for meditation, don't go for japa, काही करू नका. Easiest way, कुठे आहे ना तिथे राहा फक्त. Wherever you are, whatever you are, in whatever condition you are, whichever place you are, only try to be there at 100%. स्वयंपाक करताना 100% स्वयंपाकच करायचा. It is a sort of meditation itself. Always remember, if you are thinking, आता मला वेळ नाही, I'm very busy in my work. Whenever I get time, after say 3 months, then I will sit for Parayan and do ABC work. नहीं होता है वो. When I retire, then at that time I'll get time. Who knows that what will be the state of your body that time? Hanumananda told one story. He says, I was taking a brahmachari course in Sandipani and I was writing a book on Panchadashi, right? It was so hectic that right from the morning 4 o'clock I have to get up, take meditation classes, then take the Vedanta class, then again afternoon again Gita, then in the evening again satsang. I used to get hardly any time, but in spite of that, I could manage to write 2 pages, 3 pages. I said at least once I get 3 months time, no, in that 3 months I'll finish the entire book. And then it so happened that those brahmacharis he had 3 months when the brahmachari had to go to Siddhabari or somewhere to attend Tulsi Ramayana classes was, by different acharyas. And so he had time. So but he says that in those 3 months, I had full day of work, but I could not even progress by one sentence. See, when we think that we get time, no, we are always becomes a little bit lethargic. है ना? Those people are successful who don't find time in their life. And those who have got the time, they don't want to empty mind is a devil's workshop. They do all sorts of mischief. टीव्ही बघतील सिरियल बघून डोक्यात घाण घालतील सगळंच वेळ असलं की किती विचारला जातो जेव्हा वेळ नसतो तेव्हा यू आर द मोस्ट एफिशियंट पर्सन अँड मोस्ट पॉझिटिव्ह पर्सन थिंक सॅटर्डे संडेज युअर ऑल energy level is down and from Monday to Friday you are on the top. The why? Because you are busy throughout the day. Not for I'm not speaking about anyone generally, but I'm just thinking majority of the people. काय करेल समजतच नाही आम्ही आज ना सॅटर्डे आय गॉट अप एट 11 o'clock. At 11 o'clock is the time to get up out. Then I had my bath at 12:40. Then I had my I didn't take breakfast. I had brunch only at 2 o'clock. Then again I slept. Then evening I watched serial. फिर बाद में बाहर गए खाना खाने हो गया सैटरडे संडे. ऐसी थोड़ी जिंदगी है. टाइम पास करने वाले तो ऐसा टाइम पास मत करो है ना. I should have a a plan set out by my own self है ना की काय करायचं जप करा ना लोभ असावा तर जपाचा असावा की माझा इतका जप मी करीनच आज 50,000 करेन 10,000 करेन 25,000 करेन 1 लाख करेन आणि ते काय होतं माहितीये का वन्स यू स्टार्ट डुईंग इट ना यू स्टार्ट फॉलोइंग इन लव्ह विथ युअर साधना अरे आज आता नवरात्र चालले रोज एकदा तरी महिषासुर मर्दिनी स्तोत्र म्हणेन अन्नपूर्णा स्तोत्र म्हणेन श्री सूक्त म्हणेन काहीतरी करून सी दीज आर ऑकेजन्स विच हेल्प यू टू बी नियर टू द लॉर्ड ऑल द उत्सव ना गरबा नाचणं हे नवरात्रीचं साधन नाहीये हे नाही उद्देश नाहीये बट गणपती उत्सव मध्ये डीजे लावून नाचणं हा उद्देश नाहीये पण त्याच्यात सी इवन दोज पीपल हु आर नॉट मच दॅट मच हॅव्हिंग फेथ they also cry when they have to immerse the Lord Ganesh in the water. Okay, ne? Because that affinity is there developed. That affinity I should be able to continue through it in my life thereafter. म्हणून देवीला आपण स्थापन करतो त्याची पूजा करतो त्याची अर्चना करतो शक्तीच्या स्वरूपाने त्याची पूजा करतो. आता हे मातृपूजन केलेलं आहे त्या स्त्रीच्या जागेवर आपण त्या आईला बघतो आणि ती शक्तीच आहे जी पूर्ण या जगताला व्याप्त मायानेच जगाला व्याप्त केले ना त्या मायाशक्तीला आपण प्रणाम करतो. नेव्हर in our life try to make that comparison that man is superior and woman is inferior or woman is superior and man is inferior. Both go hand in hand. जिथे पुरुष आहे तिथे प्रकृती आहे जिथे शिव आहे तिथे शक्ती आहे जिथे लक्ष्मी आहे तिथे नारायण आहे ना ऑल गो हँड इन हँड. एक नसेल तर दुसरं होईल का नाही होणार. Left side and right side have to match each other. Left side of the body and the right side of the body has to go parallelly working it together. Na? If left side works more active and the right side is not working, then you are called a paralytic person. त्यामुळे दोघांचं अस्तित्व तितकंच महत्वाचं आहे. पण आपल्या संस्कृतीने आपल्याला त्या स्त्रीमध्ये ईश्वरत्व बघायला शिकवलंय म्हणून त्या मातृपूजेचा दिवस की त्या दिवशी सर्व शक्तींना सर्व स्त्रियांना शक्ती रूप स्वरूप मानून त्यांची पूजा केली जाते मातृरूपेने हो ना. हे सी ऑल आर कल्चर इज सो वेल interconnected to our daily life that slowly if you follow all of those rituals or those उत्सवाला काय म्हणतात celebrations properly the purification of the mind automatically happens. But in a real sense हे आता चाललंय मला नाही आवडत पण खरं देवीची स्थापना केली त्याची पूजा केली त्याचं ते रूप बघितलं त्यात किती छान आहे ते. आज म्हणून तर म्हणाले की राईट थिंकिंग इज दॅट विच इन वन लाईन द थॉट विच लीड्स मी टू द लॉर्ड इज द राईट थिंकिंग, द थॉट्स विच टेक मी अवे फ्रॉम द लॉर्ड इज रॉंग थिंकिंग. इट्स ॲज सिम्पल एज दॅट. Again I repeat, those thoughts which take me near to my Lord are the right thoughts, or is the right thinking, and those thoughts which take me away from the Lord are the wrong is the wrong thing. Mata, it is so simple. Now there is nothing for me to elaborate also. You only think, is this thought going to take me near to my Lord, or is going to take me away from the Lord? Any thought. If that thought is helping me to come closer to my Lord, then that is the right thought. And if those thoughts are going to take me away, they are not. Then they are not. They are not. Hmm? आणि म्हणून ते म्हटलं की आचार इज बॅड. ते पुढचं आले ना, moral and ethical actions are not thinking will not have that have a single pointed or circulate of vision. All this is condensed in whatever I said in one sentence. आचार विचार एक असायला पाहिजे, म्हणजे काय की आपला विचार बरोबर असलं तर आचार ऑटोमॅटिकली बरोबर असणार. सी what is, I will tell you one simple thing, law of life. The hand is the gliding force, and when you write, but the mind is the guiding force. The hand or our body is the gliding force, but behind the mind, behind the body or that hand is the mind, which is the guiding force. When you write anything, this is the famous statement of Osborne. Osborne manje, he was the greatest of authors of handwriting, in which from your handwriting you can tell a person's nature and how you write. Each one person has a different way of writing, and how you write. Some of it is it's not in the group, but the person whose writing is tilting towards the left are usually criminals. Left, because always the mind is so crooked, it always goes through this way, and he has proved it in the books. So many you can see in the, you can Google it and see it also. The
Yeah,
mind,
yeah.
Osborne.
Is it
Sorry,
Arthur Osborne?
yeah, Arthur Osborne.
He has written some books on Ramana Maharshi as well as Sai Baba. Na?
I don't know yet. My father brought, because my father was a handwriting expert.
Uh, Actually, handwriting, there was a course, I don't know, 3 months or 6 months course on Aurora Towers. Some
हाँ तो,
person used to take.
yeah, Raju Ray.
Raju
Raju
Ray.
करके था, हाँ तो he used to come to my father to learn also.
Hmm.
My father was the number one handwriting expert in India. He had about 8 or 10 theses on handwriting. So I got
Okay.
machines which amplify the handwriting to 400, 500 times. One letter, एक letter
Uh,
A. There
uh,
is a machine which it shows you so big. And handwriting, therefore, the point is what? The hand is the guiding force,
Gliding.
but the mind is the guiding force. So whatever you write,
Hmm.
it is reflection of your how your mind is. And writing is one part. Even in our day-to-day life, when you do something and you think, how did you do you act? If you go a little bit and analyze it properly, first the thought comes in the mind, and that thought motivates you to do something. Now you came for the study group. Well, how did it didn't happen of one of immediate of in a spark of a second, speck of a second. You thought that, I have to attend the study group, then I will have to do this. You thought, and then you came here, isn't it? Similarly, this thought, if you continue throughout your life, when you leave the body, if the thought is there throughout your life that I have to reach the Lord, that thought will be so predominant that when you leave the body, you will go and attain it. And if that thought is that, if you go and think on the materialist object, then the punaripi jananam, punaripi manam, punaripi janani generation, that will continue. So that thoughts which are there, I should be very alert and vigilant about the thoughts which I bring in my mind. म्हणून ते म्हटलं ऑलवेज पुट अ फिल्टर ऑन. एक फिल्टर टाकल्यावर चाळणी असते ना, फिल्टर म्हणतो ना, फिल्टर चाळणी चहा पिताना आत कुठं घाण घालूच नाही, तिथेच फिल्टर तिथेच थांबून टाकायचं. इफ सपोज now how to do this? Suppose some thoughts come to your mind which are not necessary or not good, but I think okay, it's good. त्या वेळेला you should be alert and said, are these thoughts necessary to come in a mind? Should I think in that way? If you get an answer, think. But remember that this also have to one day throw it out. But as far as possible, don't entertain those thoughts which are not conducive to my spiritual path. काय काय असतात ना विचार की आता मी फॉर एक्झाम्पल मला आता मला 1 कोटी पाहिजे आय वॉन्ट 1 crore रुपीज सो दॅट कॅन रेस्ट पीसफुली सारखंच होतं 1 कोटी कसे मिळतील 1 कोटी कसे मिळतील हाऊ काय 1 crore आय विल इन्व्हेस्ट हिअर देन आय विल इन्व्हेस्ट देअर देन आय विल सेल दिस आय विल सेल दॅट काहीतरी विल देन आय विल बिकम 1 crore देन आय विल रिलॅक्स अँड लिव्ह हॅपीली असं होत नाही रे आणि झालं तरी नाही तुमच्या आयुष्यात किती वेळ येते बघ एक मागच्या वेळेला मी तुम्हाला सांगितलं होतं यद भवती तद भवती यद न भवती न तद भवती दॅट विच इज गोइंग टू हॅपन विल हॅपन and that which is not to happen will not happen. That is the cardinal law. That so when you surrender yourself totally to the Lord and you work, I'm saying don't. I'm not saying you don't work. You do you put in your best and then leave the rest. मग तेच विचार करता करता काय होतं की वी आर डिसिपेटिंग अन एनर्जी इन द रॉंग डायरेक्शन. If you have kept your focus as your music as your career, your hobby, your passion, then 24/7 you should be in music. My love, my pastime, my everything is music. Like Gurudev, Abhi yesterday's thought was there that I asked one advocate, how can I become like you? He said, cannot become like you because my entertainment, my music 24/7 is law. Everything is law. I enjoy myself in law. If you are able to enjoy yourself in your passion, then you can be successful in that. आपलं पार्ट टाइम असतं जॅक ऑफ ऑल ट्रेड्स अँड मास्टर ऑफ नन. थोडं म्युझिक, थोडं अध्यात्म, थोडं सायन्स, थोडं पॉलिटिक्स, सगळं थोडं थोडं मजा आहे मग. मग तेच ना मागच्या त्यांना 40 ठिकाणी 1-1 फूट खड्डा खोदला तर त्याच्यात पाणी लागत नाही पण 40 फूट एकाच ठिकाणी खडला तर त्यात पाणी लागतं ओके नाही सर therefore such dissipating thoughts if you channelize to the our spiritual path then that power will be tremendous and for that as we discussed and it is read earlier faith in myself is very much essential. See, many times I agree that everyone knows it that what is that ईश्वर सॉरी नॉट ईश्वरकृपा ईशकृपा शास्त्रकृपा गुरुकृपा आणि आत्मकृपा रजिस्ट्रेशन ओके नाही पहिले गुरुकृपा पाहिजे गुरुने शिकवलेलं पाहिजे मग शास्त्रकृपा पाहिजे त्या शास्त्रात वाचलेलं आपल्याला समजायला पाहिजे त्याच्यानंतर गुरुकृपा नंतर ईशकृपा पाहिजे है ना गुरुकृपा ईशकृपा आत्मकृपा शास्त्रकृपा झाली गुरुकृपा ईशकृपा शास्त्रकृपा हे 3 झाले हे सगळे आपण म्हणतो की गुरुकडे जाऊन आपल्या स्वामीजी आपल्या गुरुजी शिकवत आहेत आणि ईशकृपा होते आपण अभ्यास पण करतोय पण सगळ्यात एक शेवटची जी असतात ती विसरतो आपण आत्मकृपा सगळ्यात महत्वाची आय शुड फर्स्ट बिलीव्ह इन माय सेल्फ फर्स्ट लोकांना नंतर मी जे बोलतो ते मला पटते काय सगळ्यात महत्वाचं आहे अदरवाइज हिपोक्रेसी डांबिकपणा असेल तर सगळ्यांनी जप करायचं बरं का सगळ्यांनी डोळे मिटून आता कसं होतंय बघा बरं सगळ्यांचे मन आणि ह्यालाच काय माहित नाही ते गुरुदेव विसरते ना by merely wearing a black coat you cannot become a lawyer by merely wearing a white robes white coat you cannot be a doctor or by merely wearing a saffron ochre kafani or robes you cannot become a sannyasi clothes are just for the sake of a protection or for your description of your profession but that doesn't mean that they because you wear saffron clothes or you wear white clothes or you wear black clothes that you can become doctor lawyer or sannyasi that those things should come from within आत्म यायला पाहिजे आत्म जेव्हा येईल त्यावेळेला तो खरा संन्यास वेदर यू वेअर ऑकर और वेदर यू वेअर ब्ल्यू काही इट हार्डली मॅटर्स तो संसारात असून जेव्हा परमार्थ होतो तो माणूस खूप श्रेष्ठ सांगितलंय शास्त्रात कारण आपल्याला एवढी त्रास असतात सगळीकडनं काय ना काय रोजच्या रोज प्रॉब्लेम असतातच ना एव्हरी डे वी आर फेसिंग सम न्यू चॅलेंजेस aren't we sometimes from the office, sometimes from the health, sometimes due to relatives, sometimes at home, sometimes due to some neighbors, sometimes due to some relatives, sometimes due to some own mental problem. रोज का रोज कुछ ना कुछ चल रहा है. Then in spite of that, when I devote 1 hour, 1.5 hours, 2 hours for my spiritual growth, then automatically you see, slowly things will happen properly. आणि म्हणून तर नित्य नैमित्तिक साधना का सांगितलं आहे की हे जरी असलं तरी मला ऍट द बॅक ऑफ द माइंड वेन आय सिट ऑन द सीट ऑफ मेडिटेशन और सिट ऑन माय साधना गुरुदेवने एक सांगितलं बिफोर आय फॉरगेट आय जस्ट टेल यू अँड देन आय मूव फॉरवर्ड ही सेड दॅट इफ यू हॅव टू हॅव अ uh, good life or a good sleep or a good thought process, only do one thing: chant 2 malas a day before you go to sleep. 2 malas. झोपायच्या आधी 2 माळा म्हणायचं, 108. बस एवढंच करायचं. कुठले तुमचा इष्टमंत्र असेल तर. And see them within 6 months, you will see the miracle result. I don't know. I have not tried. But try अभी. देखेंगे. I just read it. कि रोज रोज रात को सोते समय 2 माला होनी चाहिए. देखेंगे.
मतलब
कोई नहीं
सोने के
साधना
जस्ट
आते.
पहले में करने का।
हाँ, सोने के पहले, before you go to sleep.
मतलब you should
Try.
complete it in the day before sleeping.
2 माला को कितने 108 को हार्डली 4 मिनट लगता है रे, कितना मांगते हैं?
So that's
चार
what
पाँच
I'm
मिनट
saying,
में.
sir. मतलब before sleeping, that should be the last ritual to do. वैसा.
Yeah. Sadhana should be that. Keep your mala aside and go to sleep.
Okay.
Try now. I've tried 3-4 days. ऐसा गहरी नींद लगता है, रात को सोया तो सुबह को उठता है. बीच में कुछ सपना नहीं बपना नहीं, कुछ नहीं, एकदम सुबह के तो अभी सोया अभी उठा था. कितना बजे? 6:15 हो गए, 1 सेकंड में. आई स्लेप्ट एट 12:15. व्हेन आई ओपन माय आई 6:50. कुछ समझा भी नहीं कुछ क्या हो. मजा आता है. जस्ट ट्राई इट आउट टुडे. मजा होला झालं तर. आय थिंक गमत आहे की काय नाही, स्टार्ट एक्सपेरिमेंटिंग ऑन आवर स्पिरिच्युअल पाथ. देन मजा आता है. नाही तर एक तर काय होतं, नाही तर वी गेट बोर्ड ऑफ. रोज तसंच जप करायचा, तोच ध्यान करायचा, तसंच करायचं. आफ्टर सम टाइम ना इट बिकम्स मोनोटस एक्शन ओनली, मैकेनिकल हो जाता है. तर काय तर व्हेरिएशन असेल तर मजा आहे ना. मत ट्राई इट आउट. है और क्या. पढ़ो आगे. तो एक पैराग्राफ लेंगे, बंद करेंगे.
And just when
I-
you are talking about goal and photographer, na. If you
yeah,
get time, you just listen to interview of Boman Irani.
Boman Nirvan. Yeah.
It is he has given it in
It,
a very good way. It is about some.
I, about acting only, na? Yeah, you're saying
Then
acting only, na?
he's the actor, but his life started as a photographer, so he has given it in
Okay.
a very good
But where
way.
it is available on YouTube?
It is available on YouTube.
Okay. He started acting career at the age of 50. Yeah.
No, he started as a photographer and
Yeah. He had a shop for Bikri था, फिर shop था,
uh,
ऐसा कुछ सुना है. I have not today,
some
but it's
boxing event he wanted some photo and he went against the people and stood in such a way that he could get the best click, something of that. So it's very good.
अच्छा.
You will get motivated by seeing that.
Yeah. Let us see. I'll see ना. क्या problem है. If you find in the YouTube, just share it on the
Okay.
group. I'll
Yeah.
see it. असं see ना, that's not ना. Spirituality is not a bore thing रे. आपलं काय माहिती की when you go into it ना, त्याची मजा आहे. You enjoy it. You should पाण्याच्या आत डुबकीच मारली नाही, पाणी किती गार आहे, पाणी किती थंड आहे, पोहायचं कसं, काय करायचं, मग ते you start complaining before entering the water. That is the problem. You plunge into the water and then you'll say you don't want to come out of it. आपल्या स्पिरिच्युअलिटीने आपलं आपण काठावर बसून सगळं वी आर अनालाइजिंग एव्हरीथिंग स्टँडिंग ऑन द बैंक. आई डोंट अरे अंदर मैं नहीं रहेगा तो क्या होगा. वो व्हाट विल हैपन. कुछ नहीं होता है. So many saints, seers and sages have done that and everyone has been successful. आपने क्या होना, if you jump you will be successful only. You can never fail. My Gurudev used to always say, your children can never fail in life. Always, your first and sentence should be this, and whenever you address us, is to always say my children or my chicks. My chicks will be a source of inspiration to the world. है ना. There's so much faith there. गुरुदेव का तो अलग ही था. That's what I said. Once you install Gurudev in your heart ना, बाकी सब ऑटोमेटिकली हो जाता है. कुछ करने की जरूरत ही नहीं. He motivates you. He drives you. He tells you. He coaxes you. He pacifies you. Does everything. फक्त उसको install him in your heart. बाकी कुछ नहीं. मजा है. आणि म्हणतोय ना, I agree that we are doing Narada Bhakti Sutra and then Atma is inside and everything is pervading, everything said and done. But to be when we are not there, at least if you think that the Lord is within that, I just now I read Ram Chaitra. If you have that thought that Lord is within me, who is all powerful and all omniscient, omnipresent, and benevolent, kind, loving, positive, that automatically will give you strength to work in the field of in your own field, mentalistic field. Jadi, whichever, if you have got the thought that Lord is within you, above you, below you, next to you in all your directions, 10 directions, अष्टदिशा दस दिशामध्ये, तर automatically will not be benefited and motivated. Why,
Yes.
where is the fear then? God is there. म्हणून it's 6:15. But म्हणून they said that if you have to do anything business, na, you take Lord as a one and a partner.
Mhm.
So today only, I actually last year New Year resolution करके had started reading one shloka. First, thought of one page of Holy Gita. Then I said one stanza. One
Hmm.
stanza I read in Gurudev's commentary. I started
Hmm.
and today I finished it, sir. So today this was the topic. Last stanza, Yatra Yogeshwara Krishno,
ऐसा
Yatra
तत्र
Partha.
योगे.
So in that he says, if you take the literal word meaning, that जहाँ
Hmm.
कृष्ण है, अर्जुन है, वहाँ श्री विजय और भूतिर ध्रुवा नीतिर मंतिर ममा वो है. But
हाँ,
actually it's wrong. It shows how is Krishna described as a Yogeshwara.
हाँ,
Yogeshwara means he is described so many yogas in Bhagavad Gita, in the Song
हाँ.
of the Divine, that he is a master of them. Yoga, that is spirituality. And पार्थ को ऐसे ही नहीं बोला है. He is a partho with धनुर्धरा. धनुष बाण लेके मतलब he is ready to act. So spirituality and materialistic life go hand in hand. And unless and until there is balance in both of them, nothing can be gained in life. So that entire two-page ka commentary, today, every day morning I read it because
Great, great.
you in the activities that we undergo ना we forget. So मैं सुबह खाना बनाने के बाद कुकर लगा के पहले आके होली गीता पढ़ती हूँ. तो आज I was mentioning it to Ravi only. Tomorrow I'm coming for
Hmm.
Gita chanting competition and again I'm going to restart with
क्या बात है?
again.
उसके लिए
And
तो only blessed people are allowed in as volunteers in Gita chanting.
sometimes we go through Gita, let Gita go through us. So
Great.
Sankalp like I'm going to start it tomorrow. So today,
But
and see the coincidence today, the topic that we also are speaking on the balance between material this thing and spiritual.
yeah.
Work.
अरे गुरु, see Archana and all of you, like, जब आप कुछ करते नहीं, Gurudev's work, drawing forth
It's a
is which we speak.
Gurudev's,
कुछ नहीं करते हम लोग. And if you will not believe, I've seen ample of number of many times that whatever we discuss in the group, that same topic is comes out in so many other people's talks. You will not believe. रमेश बाबू वही लेते, किसका गुरु जी को भी लेते वही लेते रहते, किधर दूसरी जगह लेते वही लेते. So that topic which we discuss is a topic which has to be circulated in the spiritual field. Maybe it is that this thing. I don't know, but I have observed it many times. ठीक है ना? If you keep thinking of such things, then अपना अपना ईगो बढ़ जाता है. क्या मेरिकल है? कुछ नहीं देखने का, आपने चुपचाप करने का और करके लेते रहते. But I didn't agree with one thing when you say that where there is Krishna, there is Vijay, Shri, Niti, Matir, Mama, everything is there, na?
yes,
How you
sir.
say that is how you say that it's not there?
It is
I
there.
didn't get it.
Yes,
हाँ,
the literal word by word meaning पे जाना गलत है.
क्यों?
Says it is there. He says, matlab literal word by word meaning. If you say it, this is the meaning, but that is not
हाँ,
the essence of it, of that shloka. Vyasa did not want to conclude with only that ki only because jahan Arjun hai wahan ye hai. It is not that. It adds on to
हाँ,
meaning. What Vyasa wants to convey is material and
हाँ.
life go
Oh, right, right.
hand.
I understood now what you said. Yeah, yeah. You don't limit yourself with just only to Krishna and Arjuna, but bring it to
Yes,
your own life also. That if
yes.
you treat, right. Okay, right. हम्म, है ना? कन्फ्युज आज मनाचे लोक नाही घ्यायचे ना पुढच्याला घेऊ. किती वाजले रे?
ले
6:10.
सकते ले सकते भी बहुत
किसका
आर देयर.
किसका हु आर देयर?
मेरा मी एंड अर्चना.
अरे फिर फंटास्टिक, विल टेक. आई थॉट मेरे को क्या दिमाग में तो आलू कुछ भी.
आज डिस्कस होने वाला था ना यागेश्वरी ताई थी.
आई डोंट नो. आई थिंक आगे से
देखो जरा. हाँ, हाँ. तो अभी आज किसका है, तो नहीं हो नहीं प्रिपेयरिंग, तो वैसा विल टेक इट नेक्स्ट टाइम, कुछ प्रॉब्लम नहीं है. किधर आपको ये लंदन को जाना है? आराम से.
I was under the आज नहीं है. आज
चल ठीक
उनका
है
ही
ना,
वो.
नेक्स्ट टाइम लेंगे ना, क्योंकि
ठीक
रमाकांत अभी लेंगे ना तो आगे पीछे का जरा गड़बड़ हो जाएंगे.
ठीक है
We'll
ठीक
take it together only.
है.
Ravi, only do one thing. You again type what slokas are there for everyone, and next time we'll speak on that. Huh?
ओके.
Hmm. अरे रवि तेरा प्लेस पे पेंडिंग है. मेरे को पब्लिक नेता करके मेरे को याद था, लेकिन आज लोग नेता करके मैंने बोला. आपने नहीं, नहीं
वो
नहीं,
भी
लेकिन आज लोग.
वो भी
नहीं नहीं अच्छा अच्छा. नहीं अभी नेक्स्ट टाइम ज्यादा प्रिपेयर करके यार, पहला विल स्टार्ट विथ योर. आज because Archana joined late and then I thought only 4-5 people are there. So I said, let's check. Hmm. अरे क्या बात है? नहीं क्या है हाँ हाँ राजू है क्या राजू भी आ रहा है तेरे साथ क्या रे राजू
आउटसाइड सर राजस्थान
क्या
में
है राजस्थान जा
ऑफसाइड
रहा
है
है
हाँ
अच्छा, फिर अभी क्या करने अभी नहीं रहेंगे तो फिर बोल दे नहीं है करके तो स्किप वन वन हाँ देखो अन्य कितने लोग अवेलेबल हो तो देखना क्योंकि देन देन आई बिकॉज मेरे को क्या होता है बोले क्या अभी वो लेने का पीपल ने तो वापस पीछे आने का गर्व होता है एवरीवन इज देन इट इज इजी टू गो अगेन देख वी ट्राई वी जस्ट चेक अप एंड बट वेडनेसडे थर्सडे जस्ट पुट इन द ग्रुप नहीं तो नहीं नेक्स्ट टाइम लेंगे कुछ करोगे नहीं देखो प्लेस कौन ले रहे हैं कोई भी लो प्लेस अर्चना कौन ले रहा अर्चना ले रही प्लेस लास्ट टाइम तूने लिया था लास्ट
लास्ट
टाइम
टाइम
तो
मैंने
यूनिट
लिया कोई बात
आफ्टर दूसरा
हाँ
कोई
इट्स
राजू लेंगे
Take Adam.
राज
मैं
हाँ ले
लेता
ले
हूँ
राजू राजू ओम सर्वे भवन्तु सुखिनः सर्वे सन्तु निरामयाः सर्वे भद्राणि पश्यन्तु मा कश्चित् दुःखभाग् भवेत् ओम शांति 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 हरि ओम श्री गुरुभ्यो नमः हरि ओम वी स्टैंड एज वन फैमिली राजू
we stand as one family bound to each other with love and respect. We serve as an army, courageous and disciplined, ever ready to fight against all low tendencies and false values within and without us. We live honestly the noble life of sacrifice and service, producing more than what we consume and giving more than what we take. We seek the Lord's grace to keep us on the path of virtue, courage, and wisdom. May Thy grace and blessings flow through us to the world around us. We believe that the service of our country is the service of the Lord of Lords, and devotion to the people is the devotion to the Supreme Self. We know our responsibilities, give us the ability and courage to fulfill them. Oh, that's it. Hari Om.
ए वॉइस क्वालिटी वाज ओके ना टुडे कुड हियर ना
Yes, yes,
हाँ
yes, yes.
yes
ओके चल हरि ओम
Hari Om.
Hari
maybe